Hi Sumit, if you like to learn how to cut a two-piece jacket sleeve, then this video is for you. Watch till the end. My name is Veronica Adams Eze. Welcome to Vera Adams YouTube channel. So without wasting time, let's get started. So here's the pattern paper I'll be using. This is a regular basic sleeve pattern. It is a long sleeve measuring 22 inches. If you don't know how to go about drafting a regular long sleeve, I have a detailed tutorial that shows you exactly how to do this. Right at this point, I'll go ahead to open the pattern paper up, and once I'm done opening up, I'll go ahead to indicate the front and the back region. The front is actually deeper than the back. Right here at the midsection of the sleeve, that is the crease line, I'll go ahead and fold the back region of the sleeve right to meet the crease line, and I'll also go ahead and fold the front side to also meet the crease line, which is the midsection of the sleeve. Once this is done, I'll go ahead and bring in my paper tape. You can use any type of tape that you have readily available, and then you tape the edges together just the way you see me doing right here, from the top down to the bottom. Right at this point, I'll go ahead and bring in my tape measure to measure out the elbow line. The elbow line I'm using here is 13 inches, and I'm marking it right on the lower arm of the sleeve. The sleeve is actually divided into two parts: the lower arm, which I'm marking on, and the upper arm. So but for this elbow line to be visible on the upper arm, I'll be using my tracing wheel so that it will reflect on the other side, which is the upper arm. So once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead right from the edge of the lower arm. I'm going to take ½ inch from top to the bottom, just the way you see me doing right here. I'll then go ahead to use the straight part of my ruler to form a straight line out of these points. I'll go ahead and repeat the same process for the other side, and then make a mark just the way you're seeing me doing right here, ½ inch from top to bottom. I'll also go ahead and use the straight part of my ruler to mark these points to form a straight line. Afterwards, I will go ahead and bring in my scissors and cut this out right on that line that we marked. But before going on, I have to also indicate the front and the back on the lower arm, because the one that we indicated before was on the upper arm, so that we don't get confused when we're transferring on fabric. It is really important to do this, as this will serve as a guide when you are sewing. Now that we are done cutting out, we can separate the upper arm from the lower arm. Remember, this on my right hand is the lower arm, while the one on my left hand is the upper arm. So now we want to work on the upper arm. Remember that when we're making the line for the elbow, it was on the lower arm, but we used a tracing wheel, so I'm only tracing out what we have as a reflection through the tracing wheel. So I've gone ahead to indicate right on the elbow line. I'm going to go ahead and cut through, but making sure that I'm cutting from the back region towards the front. Make sure that you cut from the back region towards the front, but do not cut completely, just the way that I did right there. I've also gone ahead to insert a fresh paper underneath, and I'm going to use a paper tape to tape it down. And right at the back region, I'll go ahead and leave a space of 0.5, that's ½ inch, and I make the mark. And right at that point, I'm going to use the paper tape to hold it down. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess paper on the edges. Once I'm done with this, you can observe that it's somehow slanted, so that's how it's supposed to be. Moving on to the lower arm, I'll go ahead and repeat the same process, also cutting from the back region right towards the front, just the way we did for the upper arm. Note that before we opened up, it was straight, but after opening up, it became slanted. That's the goal, actually. You can as well go ahead and use 3/4 of an inch instead of 0.5 inches. Just make sure that whatever you're using for the upper arm is what you're also using for the lower arm. So right at this point we're done, and this is the upper arm and the lower arm placed together. Right at this point the front and the back are not aligned, so that was why I turned it. See, front and back, so you have to turn it so it is front to front and then back to back. Do you understand? That's actually the essence of naming it, so that I don't get confused when sewing. If we look closely, we'll notice that the hem of the lower arm is not straight. So to correct this, I brought in a fresh paper underneath and I've taped it down, and I'm going ahead to rule just the way you're seeing me doing right now, in order for us to have a straight bottom at the end of the lower arm. So right here I've gone ahead to do that, and I'll go ahead to bring in my scissors and cut it out. So right here we have a straight sleeve hem for the lower arm. The upper arm is actually fine, there's no need for correction. So I've gone ahead to place this pattern paper on the fabric and I cut out. I added 1/2 inch for the sewing allowance at the edges, then I added 2.5 inches extra for the length, because the length is actually shorter than what I actually wanted. In order to identify the front and back on the fabric piece, I'm going to make a notch, a single notch for the front and double notches for the back, so it would help me when I'm sewing. So I know 2 notches means this is the back, a single notch means it is the front. So right here for the upper arm, I've gone ahead to make these notches. So here they are. This is double notches. I hope you can see it. Double notches representing the back region, while single notch on this area will represent the front of the sleeve. Right at this point, I'll go ahead and remove the pattern paper. So here's the upper arm and here's the lower arm. I'll take one piece of the upper arm and one piece of the lower arm and join together, making sure that the back of the upper arm aligns with the back of the lower arm. Then I'll pin together just the way you're seeing me doing right here, right from the top down to the bottom. Please make sure that what you are pinning together aligns, that is, the back aligns with back of the upper arm and the lower arm. I hope you understand this. If you don't, you can go back and watch again, and I'm sure that you would understand. If you saw this video to this point, I want to say a very big thank you. If this is your first time here on this channel, I want to say welcome. Do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now that we're done with this, we're going to go ahead and join these sides together. As you can see, this is the front and this is the front, so they align, so we can match it up and then pin from the top to the bottom also. This piece right here only represents one part of the sleeve, so I'll go ahead and also do it for the other side of the sleeve as well. And I'll go ahead to take it to my sewing machine and sew it down. Right here I've gone ahead to sew it down. Here's one sleeve. So right here we have 2 sleeves, and this is what it looks like. At this point, you can go ahead to attach it to the armhole of your jacket. Now we have come to the end of this tutorial. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up by clicking on the like button. Do well to share to friends and family that are also sewmates. If you are yet to subscribe, click on the subscribe button. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section. I'll be there to respond to you. Click on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified each time I drop a new video. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.